Everybody's got a song inside. Everybody's got a sunny side. Sure as every ocean's got a tide. Everybody's got a song inside.
Roland Willits, All Men's Stories, and I'm here with Rosa Esquivel. And Rosa is my son's James' special lady. And you've been together a few years now, haven't you?
Yes.
How long?
A year and a half, 18 months.
Wow. Wow. And you two seem to get along really good.
Yes.
And today our radio show is on government buildings. And, you know, we started talking and you're telling me all the government buildings around San Francisco that you participated in or worked around.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first one? It was...
I'm a 20-year veteran of the city and county of San Francisco. Proud of that. So my very first experience with the county was at the Facilities, Engineering, and Maintenance building, which is still standing. And that's at the airport, at the international airport. It's not open to the public. When I started there, it was open to the engineering, the architects, and the project managers worked there.
Right.
And that's where, when the international terminal was first conceived and designed, that's where all the work originally happened.
Oh, for what?
For the expansion of the airport. It was a $2 billion expansion. That's when we expanded and installed the new international terminal building.
Okay.
So the old international terminal building used to be Terminal 2, I think.
Okay. And so the brand new building, or the brand new international airport, you participated in
Yes, I did.
in the crew that did that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. It was fun work. A lot of work.
Okay.
I worked back in the 90s. We were installing computerized graphics. So I assisted the Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, the chief architects for the new international terminal building. I helped them establish the control point for the building in AutoCAD.
Oh, okay.
So we would put all the coordinates in there.
Okay. So you worked in the AutoCAD area. Oh, that's cool. And you got it all done now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's nice. It's nice when you go to the airport, you can actually get through it now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having a new construction there.
It is. I remember when they were first, the architects and the engineers argued about putting concrete walls at the BART station so that we could protect the airplanes from terrorist attacks. And concrete is not beautiful. And if you go to the international terminal building, you'll see a twinkling wall. You know, there's a lot of like beautiful light pieces there, and they twinkle. And it was the architect's idea, and they were not going to allow us to just put concrete. It had to be beautiful. So it was in glass. They wanted a lot of glass, and so I'm glad they won.
That is really super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What's another building?
And then another exciting building. I've worked in a lot of exciting buildings. The Ferry Building. I just loved it when I would call people and say, ship me a computer to the Ferry Building in San Francisco. There was no address. It was the Ferry Building.
The Ferry, yeah, that's right. It is right. Everyone knows it.
I know, and it was like, and people just took it. It's the Ferry Building in San Francisco. I think this is code 94102, and it was fun. I remember crawling through the crawl spaces trying to run network cable. It was an old building. If they had a concert, we had front center seats. The employees could just go to the lobby or the atrium and hang out there, and we can see all the fireworks during 4th of July.
Wow.
And not that I ever did that. I was always just a worker.
Okay.
But I should have taken advantage of that when I was there.
Okay, so you were, but you were telling me that the cable was so old that you had to go in and sort of align it.
Oh yeah, we used to use real bad plenum. We called it plenum cable, which is that cable is just meant to go through a pipe, and the pipe will protect the cable. But the original installers, they just ran the plenum cable and they didn't put any piping around it. So I used to have to go up into the roofs and the ceilings and the floors and just find it and find the kink in the cable and then
Just
protect,
unkink it and
unkink it and protect it.
yeah, with what I'm sure it was some kind of tape, right? Maybe.
Just any tape. It didn't matter. I used
Uh,
electrical tape mostly, but
okay.
just any tape. Just
Any
keep it
kind of
together.
tape, you'd straighten it out and then
And
fix
move
it, and then you'd call, "Is it working?" You'd yell,
Yes.
"Is it working?" It's, yeah, we got it.
We got it. I know. And then the employees moved out of the Ferry Building and we went to Pier 1, and so all those issues went away. But it wasn't the same as working at the Ferry Building. So.
It is a nostalgic place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's surprising they left it up.
It is. We've renovated. When I first worked at the Ferry Building, it wasn't renovated, so we didn't have the nice restaurants you have now.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a ferry building. People would go and catch the ferry, and then we'd go and work. But now we have nice restaurants. Now it's all open to the public, so it was too good for us. All the employees had to move over to a different pier. We're like, nah, we're not gonna keep you guys.
Yeah, well, we're the commercial pier.
Yes, so that's a loss.
And what other building?
And then other exciting buildings was the War Memorial Building, which is 401 Van Ness. That's where I don't know if the League of Nations, the declaration for putting the League of Nations together
Right.
was signed.
Oh.
And a lot of the Veterans Office has an office there. Try to keep the memory alive. So
wow.
that's a nice building. I'm in IT and computers, and typically we didn't get a lot of respect at that time. But they got me an office. The HR manager, I got along really well with her, and she was kind enough to give me an office that she didn't need, and it faced the courtyard. And so it was something nice. It was and it happened to be right next to the server room for the building. So I remember having this great window where I can see whenever there was an opera next door or a big show, you can see all the celebrities come in with their beautiful gowns, and I would just sit there and work and look at everybody go through. That's because we work late, and so those were nice days.
Wow, you're a civil servant that worked late.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely.
Those were the days.
That's magic.
Those were the days, yes. And another building that I worked in was 949 Presidio, which at that time used to be called Muni headquarters. It's still owned by the SFMTA. It's still a city-owned property, but Muni headquarters has now moved downtown. And that's an older building. It's going to be renovated soon, and it's going to be turned into dual-use commercial and Muni facilities. But it's a really old, rickety building. It used to be open to the public. People used to go there to buy tickets for Muni Fast Passes and everything, or get senior discounts. I don't know if they used to go. No, it was pretty much for Muni passes. And that was 949 Presidio. I work at the old Bank of America building. It's not a government. It was bought by the city and county of San Francisco, but it used to be the old Bank of America.
Bank of America. Okay.
On Van Ness and Market.
Okay.
Never worked for City Hall. And then what other building have I worked for? That's pretty much it.
Well, that's exemplary for experiences in San Francisco. I love San Francisco and live there, and it's a special place in the world for me. Mm-hmm. And I met my wife there.
Oh,
Harry and I met there in San Francisco.
Which building?
At the Garden Sullivan Rehabilitation and Hospital. I was the vice president of finance up on Geary and Masonic.
Oh, next to Presidio, 949 Presidio.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the address? At Masonic?
It's right across from Old Sears, the kitty corner from Old Sears, where Sears used to be.
Okay.
Sears Roebuck.
I don't know where that is.
Okay.
But it must be the new Target, maybe.
Probably, yeah, I bet that's what it is. That Target that'd have been a great Target building. Yep.
Okay, that's where Target. Oh wow! So it's across the street from 949 Presidio.
Right.
You have to pay for parking there now. So city employees at Presidio used to park in that shopping mall.
Oh, okay.
And we used to pretend we used to go shopping, and we just parked the car there for free and walk across the street.
Where do you work now?
So I work at Van Ness and Market now, which is used to be the old Bank of America building, now owned by the city.
Okay, so you do work there. I didn't. Yeah, you said yeah. Okay, and so you're still
it's
there.
Exciting.
Is it nice? It's
okay.
It's downtown.
It's better than 949 Presidio.
Yeah, it's downtown. Yeah, you get to. There's always something happening downtown.
Yes, it's being a lot of the tech companies are moving, like Uber.
Right.
What Who else is down there? Twitter.
Right.
They're all moving into those buildings now.
Wow.
I get to hang out with the new technology as well as all the homeless and mentally ill people. It's a real weird
You
place.
get the
Everybody.
big mix in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the SFMTA's customer service center is at Van Essen Market.
Wow.
So that is open to the public.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank everyone. Thank you, everyone. I just absolutely. This is the first I've heard of a lot of these things. So I have just absolutely enjoyed our talk. Thank you.
Or if you can cut this part in.
What, go.
I just wanted to share an experience at the airport. When my son was young, I was the on-site coordinator for the expansion of the airport. We worked for Rosa Esquivel, and our job was to install the security and special systems for all the airlines on the new international terminal. And I was the key contact for the location. And so my boss was never around. So one day I didn't have a babysitter, so I took my son to the airport. I was really stressed out because usually you're working really hard, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this 6-year-old kid? So I snuck him into work, and our office actually had moved down to the old Delta building. That building has been torn down now. And everybody at the airport, the building that I used to originally work in, the facilities engineering building, it's not as exciting as the old Delta building. The old Delta building is where all the Delta airline stewardess, the captains used to go and relax, and that used to be their headquarters. And if you're in the airline industry, it's got more of a nicer, historical connotation. So, and that building was slated for tear down, so it became my office. And so I took my 6-year-old son into the building, and there was nobody there. It was just him and I. And it's weird walking through the building almost close to airfield operations. And I took him in, and he was just excited. I thought I'd have a horrible time controlling a 6-year-old kid, but it was exciting for him to just see the airfield operations. And then I took him to the terminal, and we had lunch at the terminal. And instead of working that day, I just said, let's make it fun for him. And I showed him all our upcoming construction. And I showed him everything about how the airports work, and we watched airplanes land. And he just remembers that. He goes, "Wow, what an exciting day! Your job, Mom, must be really exciting." And it was like, yes, that's what I do. So it was just one of those nice days where you can take your child to work day, and it was at the airport. It's actually a great place to take your son. So I was able to control him and just take him around everywhere and show him everything that was going on, and he just loved it.
That is spectacular for government buildings that your kids were excited.
Mm-hmm.
Your son was excited. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Sure as every ocean's got a tide, everybody's got a song inside.